So hi, hello and welcome again. Cell organelles, that is our topic today, and probably you already watched the video on the plant and the animal cell where I made a drawing. Please watch that first, yeah, if you didn't, watch it later. Okay, so what are cell organelles? Well, yeah, I've got a nice definition over here. Cell organelle is a structure within a cell which performs a specific function. Yeah, so some kind of a structure in a cell. In many cases, you can see them under the microscope. And yeah, many of the cell organelles are membrane bound. And I need to clarify this a little bit. What does membrane bound mean? Well, it means surrounded by a membrane. And especially the word bound has caused a lot of confusion in some students in the past because it's like it comes from binding. This is kind of what some students think, that membrane bound means that it's kind of bound or sticks to a membrane. But this is not what it means. The word bound here means it's made of a membrane or it is surrounded by a membrane. Yeah? It does not mean binding. It does not come from the word binding. Okay. So, and yeah, there are, when we look at the membrane bound cell organelles, different ones are depending on the number of membranes that they have. And there are three important cell organelles that have a double membrane, two membranes. The nucleus has a double membrane, the mitochondria, and also the chloroplasts. Okay, so these are the three important cell organelles with a double membrane, and all of the other cell organelles that you have, they only have one membrane. And the ribosome, well, I don't know if we should call it even a cell organelle. It depends a little bit on the definition because a ribosome does not have a membrane. So, but let's first look here. These are all of the organelles that only have one membrane: the vacuole, vesicles, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and also the Golgi apparatus. They're all surrounded only by one membrane. And as I already mentioned, what about ribosomes? They don't have a membrane. Yeah. Is it now an organelle? Well, it is a structure within a cell that does a certain function. But yeah, some people don't call them organelles or true organelles because they don't have a membrane. Yeah. So some people therefore call them non-membranous organelles or non-membrane bound organelles. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. This question of whether ribosomes are cell organelles or not reminds me a little bit on the debate whether Pluto should be considered a planet or not. It's a question of definition. Yeah. The ribosomes don't, I guess they don't care whether you call them a cell organelle or not. But in any case, if you want to hear my personal view about this, I probably would not call them a cell organelle because cell organelles per definition should only be present in eukaryotes and not in prokaryotes, and ribosomes are present in both. Okay, so yeah. In any case, yeah, you see the important thing here is there. I think that's the most important thing is there are cell organelles with two membranes, with one membrane, and then there are also structures inside a cell that do not have a membrane at all. So, but I'm going to show you now three more structures, and I would like to ask you: are these cell organelles or not? So that's the real question here. What about the cell wall here? Huh? The cell wall prevents the cell from bursting. Strictly speaking, it is not a cell organelle, so I have to move the heading away, okay? Otherwise, some people might think that this kind of belongs to the cell organelles. Let's move this here also to the side. Well, the cell wall, strictly speaking, is not a cell organelle. It's still important. It is still a structure. It's not inside a cell. Of course, it's not made of a membrane. Over here, another one that I've found here. What about another thing here? Oh, I'm having problems with the paper. What about the cytoplasm? The cytoplasm inside a cell, is the liquid content. It contains many enzymes. It's not really a structure, okay? It's not a cell organelle either. And what about the plasma membrane itself? It is made of a membrane, but we don't consider the plasma membrane as a cell organelle either, okay? Yeah, it controls the passing of substances in and out of the cell. It's not a cell organelle. Yeah. So what we're gonna, so they're important. You gotta know them, but I think we're not gonna talk about them any further because today I will talk about cell organelles. Okay. So, and look what I prepared here. Ooh, this is a little bit scary now. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this mess here. We're gonna make a table out of this here because we're going to, put the name, the function, and a drawing. So we're gonna sort this out. Okay. So these are actually This is the definition of compartmentalization here. Look at this. So how did this get in here? This is something that I actually wanted to talk about later on. Okay, so let's move this out of the way here. This is the thing that we have to sort out. Yeah, look, there are some drawings in here. Over here, these are the functions, and over here in blue, we've got the name of the cell organelle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to make a table. And I've got some headings here as well. So we're going to have the name of the cell organelle, then the function, and we're also going to include the drawing somewhere. It's kind of difficult to move the paper around, I just realized. Okay, so this is kind of the task that we'll be doing over the next couple of minutes. Okay, so I don't know, I'm just going to start somewhere, and let's here are the drawings. Okay, and I'm going to start somewhere. Okay, let's start with the most important one, the nucleus here. How is this? Yeah, the nucleus certainly is a cell organelle, and it's over here. This is the nucleus. Look, I also included a little bit of the rough endoplasmic reticulum on the outside here, but actually this here is that's the nucleus here. Okay, and now I need to find the function of it. Yeah, so stores digestive enzymes, no. Transport of proteins, no. Vesicle production, no. Lipid synthesis, no. There's some DNA stuff here. Look, there's some DNA here. What about contains DNA? Yeah, that is the function. Please be very careful. Some people say, well, what is the function of the nucleus? Well, the nucleus is the largest cell organelle in a cell. This is what some people say, but that's not a function. Okay, be careful when they ask you about a function. You got to give them a function, and this is the function. It stores the DNA, the genetic material, or it contains DNA. Yeah? So what else do we have? Yeah, we talked about the chloroplasts over here in plant cells. So let's find a drawing from over here as well. Transport of proteins, vesicles. No. I think there was photosynthesis. Look here. This is what chloroplasts do. They do photosynthesis, and the drawing of the chloroplast is down here. Okay, so I don't know, it's kind of a little bit not enough space, but this is supposed to be a chloroplast. Look at that there are those lines in there. These are also membranes, the so-called the thylakoid membranes, yeah, and they're stacked up here. Yeah? So that is the chloroplast. Again, one with a double membrane. And remember, what is the third one with a double membrane? And that is the mitochondrion. Okay. Also has a double membrane, and what does the mitochondrion do? The mitochondrion is important for cell respiration. Do we have this somewhere? Here it is. Okay, cell respiration is the thing that it does, and the mitochondrion is over here. Okay, also has a double membrane. Yeah? So I think that would be quite a nice table. What you could do, actually, you could add another column over here and write down number of membranes. Okay, and then you write 2, 2, and 2. 2, 2, and 2. This could be one thing that you might want to write. So yeah, you know what? I'm out of space, so this means that I'm going to move everything away, and we're going to continue. And let's continue with those that have a single membrane, and those with a single for example, the vacuole is one of them here. Okay, you know what? Why not simply list them out first? I think it makes everything much easier when I have everything first organized like this. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, I've got lysosomes, they have a single membrane. Vesicles here, they have a single membrane. And of course, how could I forget? Well, actually, I didn't forget about it. Here, it's the last one that I found here. That's the Golgi body or the Golgi apparatus. So, and of course, you see, the table is a little bit problematic because I don't have enough space here. And now let's try to sort out the rest. Let's talk about this here, vesicle production. Vesicles are produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum, okay? And there's going to be a separate video on how this actually works. But the vesicle production is next to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. What do we have over here? Modification of proteins, modification and packaging of proteins. This is the task of the Golgi body. So in other words, proteins are transported by vesicles to the Golgi body, and the Golgi chemically modifies them and finishes them and finalizes them. So that's here. What else do I have over here? Transport of proteins. Yeah, I think I already mentioned. Proteins are transported inside the vesicles. Yeah. Lipid synthesis. The cell needs to make lipids, and this is the task of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah. Okay, over here, storage of food and water. Yeah, this is the vacuole, and remember, a plant cell has a large central vacuole for storing water. Okay, but there are also food vacuoles possible. Yeah. And lysosomes, this is something that is found in plants, in animal cells, not plant cells, in animal cells, and this stores digestive enzymes here. Okay, yeah, and pretty much, this is pretty much everything that I have here, but let's add the drawings a little bit. This here is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. You see, notice the ribosomes, those dots here, these are the ribosomes on the surface. Those large structures here, that's supposed to be a vacuole, you see, so I'm going to put it here on the top. You see, one line is always a membrane. This one is an easy one. Yeah? The Golgi body, notice that there are vesicles on the side here. Golgi apparatus, Golgi body. Yeah? Over here, this here is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It does not have any ribosomes on the surface. It's the, yeah, so it goes in here. Over here, what else do I have? Yeah, lysosomes and vesicles. Actually, they look quite similar. Yeah, look, yeah, little bubbles over here. So I put them next to each other, lysosomes and vesicles. And you know what? That's it. Yeah. So these are all of the cell organelles that have one membrane. And maybe you would like to add over here again another column where you just say number of membranes and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So, and there is one last one left over that I want to talk about. And of course, you already know it's the ribosome. Okay, where am I going to put that? Well, the ribosome, everything goes away. I don't know if we should call it an organelle. Okay, remember? It's a little bit a question of definition. Ribosome, yeah, I did not make any lines here. These are tiny dots. Okay, so no membrane. And what does the ribosome do? It synthesizes proteins, okay? It makes proteins. Yeah, and that's basically everything that I wanted to share with you today, okay? So my suggestions, you might, okay, yeah, of course you want to write a 0 here. Number of membranes is 0, and then the ribosomes. In this case, it's an ATS ribosome. You remember that prokaryotes, they also have ribosomes. There's 70S ribosomes. Yeah. But if you make a nice table and if you try to draw those structures as well, then I think you'll remember it much better, because humans often remember drawings better. Okay, and if you simply also remember that if you draw one line, then you're drawing one membrane. Yeah, and you see in the nucleus here you have 2 lines, 2 membranes. Yeah, I also included the RER here. Maybe not even necessary. If you have the nucleus here with 2 membranes here, the chloroplast, and so on and so on, make drawings and it's much easier for you to remember. So, but remember those 3 green sheets here that I sorted out right at the beginning? Yeah, we got to talk about those as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna move those away here, and I would like to talk about the term here, okay, called compartmentalization. Compartmentalization. Basically, eukaryotic cells are compartmentalized. They have cell organelles that are working in separate areas within a cell. Yeah. So yeah, obviously, I mean the nucleus. I mean it's a separate area. The inside is different than the outside. Now, why is this important? Well, it allows for optimum pH conditions of the enzyme. So maybe inside a cell organelle, maybe inside the pH is different than on the outside. That's quite well possible, because there are different enzymes in there than on the outside. And it also allows enzymes and substrates to be separated from each other. So in other words, if you have, I don't know, here the RER and here the, I don't know, let's say take the smooth ER, there are different enzymes and substrates in each of them, and they don't mix. So you want to keep them apart, because they shouldn't mix together, okay? And this compartmentalization allows the cell to do that. It keeps the things together that actually belong together. Yeah? And the important thing that I want to mention here now is the following, is that those membranes that you see here, they are so-called semi-permeable or selectively permeable. Both kind of mean the same thing. And this basically means that only certain substances are able to go through here. Remember with the plasma membrane, when I said in the plasma, the cell membrane, it kind of controls what what goes in and what goes out of the cell. Well, it's not only the case with a plasma membrane, but with any type of membrane. Only certain substances are allowed to go through. And why is this so? Well, if a membrane would allow all substances to go through, if this were the case, then why do you even have a membrane, right? Then just leave the membrane away if everything can go through anyway. If you have a door that's unlocked, then why do you even have a door? I mean, the point of a door is so that you can lock it sometimes. But if it's open all the time, then you just don't include a door, take the door out. This is basically the reason. And sometimes you might also wonder, okay, what happens if it's not permeable at all? Well, if it doesn't allow anything to go through, well, then essentially you cannot have any exchange of materials, and that's also not good, right? So that's the importance of a membrane is that it controls very precisely which substances are allowed to go through and which not. So maybe there are certain things that are made inside a chloroplast or inside a smooth ER and so on, and certain substances are able to go out, and only certain substances are able to go in. The different membranes have different proteins on them, and therefore, or different channel proteins or different pumps, and therefore they allow only different substances to go through. This compartmentalization of eukaryotic cells is actually quite important here. It also increases the surface area. Maybe it's something that I did not mention here. Okay, the more cell organelles you have, the larger the surface area. So that's something as well that you might want to include here. The importance of having membranes inside a eukaryotic cell is also to increase the surface area. So I think that's it for today. Okay, it was long enough. I wish you all the best and see you around. Bye-bye.